Pachi.
Hello everyone and welcome today to our family office, and these are the kitchens that we design and bring from Italy for our buildings, and that's basically my job here. Kitchen design. We have beautiful kitchen with a wine and the fridge and everything covered in case you have an open kitchen and you want something beautiful for everyone to see, with the cooktop on top, the cooktop in front, so I can see the people who are here, and the wash part in the back. So we are going to do an amazing class that's going to be all about basics. So people can create basic products, keep them in the fridge for a month, and don't have to buy a lot of herbs, spices, fruit, sauces, dressings, and spreads. And it's going to be amazing. Afterwards, there's going to be a buffet of different kinds of cheeses. We have some smoked salmon, some prosciutto, some serrano ham, which I'm going to talk to you about when they are the best in quality and as a product for your body with antioxidants. And we're going to have this beautiful buffet with greens and spices and spreads and the sauces. So here we start. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to buy any herb that will never spoil. So we have two herbs that don't dry well, which are parsley and cilantro. And I'm going to show you what to do with those. And then we have all of the other herbs. They dry fantastically. There are two ways to dry them. If you have a place that is very, very humid, like Panama, you can tie them in little tiny groups, like this, hang them on a hanger, and just hang them anywhere. And in about a week, they're going to be dry. If you put them in a big bunch, since Panama is so humid, it's going to take a lot longer to dry. So the easiest thing is just tie them all one next to the other in a hanger, and they dry. You can buy a different herb every week or every month, and then you'll have herbs for the rest of the year. Here we have thyme. Here we have oregano. These were all tied to a hanger, but I'm going to show you a second way of doing it. And here we have all of them already dry. We have basil, we have rosemary. You can keep them in any container. I have them in these ones because they are less heavy to bring all the way here and take them back to our test kitchen. Here we have some beautiful mint. We have oregano. Look at our oregano. That's this, becomes this. And we're going to see it in a minute when we do our sandwiches. Here we have some mixed herbs. When I have a little bit of everything, I just mix them, and that's it. Perfect. Now, I'm going to show you how to dry those. If you have a big kitchen, or you have space, or you have like space on top of the fridge, where you can put a big rack and have some space below it. For example, if you have something like this that has some little legs, you can put them there. If you have a kitchen rack, you can put them here. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. Super simple. And you are never going to have herbs that go bad. They're never going to go bad. You can use them in the middle of the drying part, when they're dry and when they're fresh. No problem if you take some leaves off at the beginning before drying them, while they're starting to dry, or afterwards. This is the way to do it. It's super simple. You're not going to believe it. All you have to do is spread out the herbs like this, and that's it. You put them, because these have legs. If you don't have something that has legs, you just put them on top of something so that the air dries it all over. And voila, in a week, you have your dry herbs. You can store them, put them in a little glass jar, keep them in a bigger storage, or use them as decoration because they're beautiful. You can leave them outside just without putting them in any container. They lose a little bit of their quality, but if you want to have them in your kitchen and see them, just use them quicker, and then you get some more. Nothing happens if you have them out for a month in a container when they're already dry. More than that, they start losing a little bit of their quality. Now, the last and almost also fantastic way to do it is you put this on top of a baking sheet. Let me show you how. And you put it in the fridge. In the refrigerator, they're going to take about 3 weeks to dry, but they are also going to dry perfectly. You keep them in the fridge like this, so that also the air of the fridge goes above and below the herb and dries them. And same thing. Afterwards, you just store them when they're dry, whichever way you want. You know that you can also store them, for example, in zipper bags. Let me show you because I had one around here. And these, even though they appear to be single use, they are not single use because after some of the herbs are used, just add some more to the same bag. Simply try and add the same one so they keep the same aroma. Otherwise, no problem. But just use the same bag for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Nothing is going to happen to them. And if you seal them like this, you keep them in the fridge because plastic will absorb some of the humidity and can make them humid again if they're outside. So if you want to keep them in something plastic like this, you keep them in the fridge, which what you can do is after they're dry, you can just do this, or if you have less space, you crumble them, take all the air out from the bag, and that's it. You'll see. Take all the air from the bag, then seal it, and you can have your herbs like this. Little teeny weeny bags of each herb. Then buy a next one, fill them up again when they're ready, and you're never going to waste any kind of herb. Now, like we said, some herbs don't dry well, and the ones that don't dry well are parsley and cilantro. So how do we do something that makes our life so much easier without spending and wasting money every week or every month on something that you can buy once and keep in the fridge for the whole month? This is what we do. We process our parsley with our cilantro, any other herb that you have fresh. Imagine if you have just a little bit of basil and you don't want to dry just like, a little bit of 10 leaves, 11 leaves. Any other herb you have, you can add. Parsley is the base and it's very neutral, but parsley is filled with vitamin C, more than an orange, just like red bell peppers are filled with vitamin C. So you're going to keep all that vitamin C there because you're going to buy really fresh, process it with some garlic cloves. For example, I usually use for something like this, I use a bunch of cilantro and a couple of other herbs if I have them, 3 green onions and 4 cloves of garlic. Process them, and this is what we get. I'm going to show you the whole video because the link to the whole video because we've already done it. And this, we add olive oil at the end so that it keeps fresh. Once you add the olive oil, mix, and you have like a paste, which is going to be perfect for a whole month. So you can season anything. You're going to think that all of the food tastes the same, but it won't, because these are very subtle herbs. Like the bunch of parsley It's almost neutral. And it's going to have a touch of this and that, a touch of cilantro, a touch of maybe any of the other herbs you want to have, and some garlic and green onions. So it's something that you would use to season anything, from soups to dressings to pork to beef, chicken. It doesn't matter which kind of colored meat, to vegetables, to roast asparagus, to roast mushrooms, portobello mushrooms, roasted in this with some olive oil, divine. So this is the second thing that I wanted to show you that can be done so that you never, ever, ever, ever waste herbs and that you can always use them. They give an amazing amount of flavor to your food with 0 calories and tons of antioxidants and tons of micronutrients. So everything that we're trying to buy today in bottles because it's great for us, like, you know, like people buy onion and garlic pills, and they buy all kinds of oils, perfect oils. They all come from nature. And what we're doing is using it with the utmost flavor they have at the cheapest price and having them all the time without ever running out. Now, there is one other thing that I do with these that I'm going to link to you in a video, because the rest of the antioxidants and antibacterial, antivirals like turmeric and ginger, I process. I'll send you the link to this video, and I put them in tiny ice cube trays. And that's it. I always have them. So I buy once a month, like the herbs and the fresh herbs to do this. The dry herbs, if I buy a whole bunch, like during the summer, they stay all year long perfect. And with the garlic and the ginger and the turmeric, since they make a lot of volume, I mean, you buy 2 or 3 roots of garlic and you have, of ginger or a bunch of turmeric roots, you have for the whole year. You freeze them in these little tiny ice cube trays. When they're frozen, put them in a container and just take one out without defrosting the whole pack. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole big piece of ice cube of turmeric or ginger or garlic. Use it immediately. Never have to buy any more. Never have to pay more for those things. And they're going to be great just for your food, and maybe to add to tea, maybe to add to some flavored water, juices, drinks, anything you want. So here we go with our herbs and seasonings. Part number 1. The second part I want to show you is coming in 1 minute while I rearrange this.